It was a chilly autumn evening in a small town nestled deep within the Appalachian Mountains. The wind howled through the desolate streets, carrying whispers of the secrets that lay dormant within the shadows. The townsfolk knew better than to venture out after dark, for they had heard the eerie tales that circulated among them. I had always been drawn to the mysterious and supernatural, so it was no surprise that I found myself roaming the deserted streets that night. The moon cast an ethereal glow upon the worn-out buildings, adding an eerie ambience to the scene. As I wandered, a peculiar house caught my attention. It stood at the end of the street, hidden behind overgrown hedges and tangled ivy. The house appeared to have been abandoned for years, its windows boarded up and its front porch creaking with every gust of wind. Intrigued, I approached cautiously, feeling a chill creep up my spine. Ignoring the warning signs, I mustered the courage to step onto the decaying porch. The wooden boards groaned beneath my weight, as if protesting my intrusion. The front door, warped and weathered, offered little resistance as I pushed it open. The musty smell of neglect and decay engulfed my senses, causing me to hesitate for a moment. Undeterred, I ventured inside, guided only by the pale moonlight that seeped through the cracks in the walls. The interior was frozen in time, as if the inhabitants had fled in a hurry, leaving their belongings behind. Dust-covered furniture stood as silent witnesses to the forgotten lives that once thrived within these walls. I cautiously made my way through the darkened corridors, my footsteps echoing eerily in the empty house. As I entered what seemed to be a study, a faint whisper caught my attention. My heart raced as I strained to decipher the words, my imagination conjuring images of restless spirits trapped within the house. Suddenly, a cold gust of wind extinguished the lone candle I carried, plunging the room into complete darkness. Panic surged through my veins, and I fumbled for a source of light. In the pitch-black room, an unsettling presence enveloped me. I could sense unseen eyes watching, and an invisible force seemed to draw closer with each passing second. With trembling hands, I managed to light the candle again, casting a dim glow that barely illuminated the room. And there, in the dim light, I saw them, countless spectral figures, their translucent forms swaying eerily in the air. Their hollow eyes fixed upon me, their ethereal whispers growing louder, filling the room with an otherworldly chorus. I recoiled in horror, unable to comprehend the spectral gathering that surrounded me. Their presence felt suffocating, their whispers piercing my mind. Desperate to escape, I stumbled backward, knocking over an ancient bookshelf in my haste. As the shelves crashed to the floor, a hidden passage was revealed behind them. Without thinking, I darted into the secret corridor, fleeing from the haunting spirits that pursued me. The passage twisted and turned, seemingly endless, until I emerged into a moonlit clearing outside. Breathing heavily, I collapsed onto the ground, grateful to have escaped the clutches of the supernatural realm within that accursed house. The spirits, their faces etched in my memory, still lingered in the shadows, their whispers haunting my thoughts. From that night on, I vowed to never again venture into the darkness, for I had witnessed the chilling reality that lay hidden beneath the surface of our world. The eerie tales of that small town were no longer mere legends, they were a warning, a reminder that some mysteries are better left undisturbed, and some secrets are better left buried. In a forgotten village tucked away amidst a dense forest, there stood an old, decrepit mansion. The locals whispered about its dark history, believing it to be cursed. It was said that anyone who dared to enter would never return the same. Intrigued by the tales that surrounded the mansion, a group of curious friends decided to investigate the legends. They gathered one moonlit night, armed with flashlights and trembling with a mix of excitement and trepidation. As they approached the looming structure, an eerie silence fell upon the forest. The mansion loomed before them, its once grand facade now worn and weathered. The air was heavy with a foreboding presence, as if the very walls whispered of the horrors within. The group exchanged nervous glances but pressed on, their curiosity outweighing their fear. Creaking open the rusted front door, they stepped into the shadowy foyer. The air was stale, and an unnatural chill pervaded the atmosphere. The faint sound of footsteps echoed through the halls, though no one dared to admit they had heard them. They ventured deeper into the mansion, their footsteps muffled by the decaying carpets. Every room they entered held remnants of a forgotten past, dusty furniture, tattered curtains, and faded portraits staring down with hollow eyes. Each step felt like a trespass into the unknown. As they ascended a grand staircase, a shiver ran down their spines. The air grew colder, and whispers seemed to curl around their ears. They reached a long hallway, its walls lined with doors leading to unknown chambers. With trepidation, they began to open them one by one. Behind each door, they discovered strange and macabre scenes. A room adorned with taxidermy animals frozen in eternal agony. A chamber filled with cracked mirrors, reflecting distorted, grotesque figures. An abandoned nursery, toys scattered haphazardly as if abandoned in a hurry. The group's nerves were frayed, their hearts pounding with a mixture of fear and fascination. But it was when they opened the final door that true horror embraced them. The room was shrouded in darkness, save for a flickering candle at its center. Shadows danced, casting eerie silhouettes upon the decaying walls. In the center of the room stood an ornate mirror, its surface tarnished with age. Their gazes were drawn to it, unable to look away. As they stared into the reflection, their own faces twisted and contorted, their eyes filled with madness. Whispers swirled around them, their voices melding into a cacophony of despair. One by one, the friends succumbed to the mirror's malevolent power. Their sanity slipped away, leaving behind only empty shells consumed by darkness. Their cries echoed through the mansion, a chilling chorus that joined the countless whispers of its tormented past. And so, the mansion claimed yet another group of curious souls, adding to the ever-growing collection of lost spirits that haunted its halls. The legend persisted, warning others to stay away, for the mansion hungered for the light of the living, forever yearning to claim more victims in its eternal realm of darkness.